Welcome back to your channel. My name is Brad. Today we're going to discuss why Brad dumped outperformers. And there's no question that XDTE and QDTE were outperforming the indexes or the underlyings. No question about it. Let's go over some of the simple charts from Seeking Alpha, affiliate link below. If I look at iSpy, the S&P 500, and XDTE, only looking at price, they're right there level, very level, doing well. Brad, what are you talking about? If I look at total returns, after August 5th, XDTE is outperforming the S&P 500 and iSpy. No question about it. They're outperforming. Only after August 5th. Interesting. What changed? Moving on to QDTE. Something's going on with QDTE. They're 10% below. You've lost 10% of your NAV. Just the way it is. That's how it works. QQQ is approximately 10% above. So you're approximately 20% differential. Interesting. Total returns tells a different story. Total returns tells a completely different story. If I look at total returns after August 5th, QDTE is outperforming the Qs and iSpy. Very interesting. They were below beforehand, and now they're outperforming. Very good. Bravo, Roundhill. Give you a thumbs up. Everybody keep with it. Pile in. Buy more. Let's go over the calls this week. The calls this week. QDTE. They're over 1.2 million in revenue earned through their calls. Awesome. Approximately 11 cents with the share count today. Great job. Had a little slippage. Slippage being defined the amount of percentage above the strike price. So when the index goes through the strike, this is the percentage above. You will never see that percentage ever again. This is how you find out why you're down 10%. It's because this slippage occurs. But they get the revenue. So it doesn't matter. I just showed you total returns. They were winning. Interesting. Good job. XDTE, 322, about 10 cents per share. Share count as of today. Again, they had a little slippage on Wednesday, but not much. And this is why they do better than QDTE, because the amount of slippage always seems to be a smaller percentage. But hey, no problem. Doing well. RDTE, 10 cents. Again, doing well. No slippage. So that is the end of the strikes and everything and their performance. They're doing well. So why did you sell, Brad? Well, I saw an interview. Retire on dividends. Rod, I had the CEO on. There was a couple questions that were asked, and I thought they were fascinating. Notice that Rod did not ask those questions, but really it came from the audience. So it's you people that asked these questions. And the answers that were received were non-satisfactory from a fund manager. I don't know why the CEO would say what he said, but he said it. And some of these are fascinating. First off, they do not have a plan on rolling the poor man's covered call as of yet. They have until March. I heard that. My wife had to come pick me up off the floor, put me back in the chair. You're a fund manager. You don't have a plan? You got 6 months. And that was, we have 6 months, we'll figure it out. No. Correct answer would have been, we have 4 or 5 different scenarios that we're playing out, and we're going to see which best one fits. Better answer. Not, we don't know, we'll figure it out in March. March comes, you could get a big payout. March comes, your NAV can drop significantly. Don't know. Am I going to leave this to chance in my retirement? No. I'm going to take the money. I'm going to fully fund the rest of my funds that I know what they're doing and how they're doing it. Number 2, somebody asked, why are you overpaying RDTE? CEO, I have no clue what you're talking about. I'll have to look into it and get back to you. Well, Mr. CEO, you don't have to look into it, because the next question was, one of the next questions were, what are your payouts? Answer, 2 weeks prior. Great. Brad gets up this morning. Brad goes back and looks. What did you make 2 weeks prior? And what was the share count as of today on your website? Oh, that's interesting. You're overpaying all 3 funds. Huh. Wait a second. Whoa. You won't answer why you didn't overpay on RDTE, but now you're overpaying on all 3 funds. And the NAV's not appreciating because they're giving you back your money. It's like, oh my gosh, people. This is what true NAV erosion is by definition. Bad ROC. They're giving you back your money. I personally try to stay away from funds that give you back bad ROC. Let's go right through the numbers, because the numbers are the numbers. I reported that on the week of September 23rd, they earned 2.7 million. Their earnings are the earnings. 500,000, 146,000. I took the share count on their website as of this morning. Earnings per share from 2 weeks ago. 25 cents, 15 cents, 14 cents. Payouts this week. 26, 20, 24. Overpayment per share. 1 cent, 4 cent, 10 cent. Somebody wanted to argue with me on my other account. They're giving it back to us out of their management fees. I want what he's smoking. These are funds. These people make a living. They're not giving this back to you out of the fees. Whatever. Please wake up. That's not how it works, ladies and gentlemen. They do not give you back money out of their management fees to inflate the numbers. They're giving you back the money out of your NAV. That's why you're not seeing your NAV go up. They're actually managing your NAV to keep it pretty flat. At least that's what it appears like. Again, I'm not the one that says that they're going to pay back 2 weeks. Their CEO did. I know what they earned. I can see their share count per their website. The math is the math is the math. Don't yell at Brad, because Brad already showed you that they're outperforming after August 5th. Brad has total confidence that, yeah, they'll probably figure it out. Maybe. If you're going to risk it, well, you have 6 months to figure it out. Who cares? Right? Who cares? Well, Brad's in retirement. Brad's not going to sit here and risk his retirement because somebody wants to figure it out in 6 months. Notice that he did not talk about theta. He didn't talk about rho. Rho normally doesn't get talked about too much in option trading. But when you're 6 months out and the Fed is lowering rates, rho becomes a player. And they're not talking about it. Interesting. They know about rho. They know about theta. He clearly knows about delta. He mentioned delta. I'm getting out because I'm going to invest these funds to fully fund the rest of the $500,000. It became obvious I would have been waiting for a couple years for these funds to pay out enough to get there. Instead, take my winnings. Everything was a winner. clear day. Everything was a winner. I am just taking my winnings, taking my little football, and I'm running. Now, I'll still be covering these funds. I think they're fascinating. I might be putting I Spy up against them, putting up their strikes also. I mean, why not? But I'm getting out I'm funding my funds for retirement. Change of plan. Moving on. I'm not going to let somebody figure out something in 6 months and hope that it works. They should have already figured this out, like before they launched the fund, my opinion. So my advice is, when you watch these fund managers, critical thinking. What does he mean that they're not overpaying? That he doesn't know? That he's the CEO and doesn't know what you're talking about? Obviously, you just got your fingers caught in a cookie jar. And lastly, what do you call somebody that tells you one thing and does something else? And that's who you're going to trust your money to. No. That's why a lot of people, the big funds, don't talk to the retail investors, because they might get, I wasn't looking to catch anyone. I took them for their word. Shame on me. Shame on you for believing everything that people tell you. The data is the data. Moving on. Hopefully, you guys stick with me, because I'll cover these. I'm also going to do a later video on Yomax and where all their strikes are. So that's coming up here shortly. And continue to look at my content. Appreciate everything. Until next time, God bless.